Today marks 1 year since the Ketchikan landslide took one man's life and severely injured another. It also destroyed homes and left a mark on the people there.
Borough Mayor Rodney Dial says the town is getting back to full recovery, and the scar in the landscape, though, still visible.
What you're seeing up here is the slide, and you can look up at the very top up there, and that is basically where it started, that little brown area up there. And then, of course, all of the rocks and debris came down here just almost like a freight train, taking out some of the houses. It went over that road that's up on the top, which is 3rd Avenue bypass. It came down through here onto some of our side roads. And if you look right back behind me, you're going to see the area where several of the houses used to exist. And right now it's pretty much just gravel. The debris have been removed, but that's pretty much the power of that landslide and really what it did. It went almost to the road way down there by the water.
And that area there that's pretty much just gravel, that's where James and Bill Montevere lived. And as Michaela Clark tells us, the Monteveres, they were in that home when it was crushed.
James said it only took moments to go from a normal day to one they'll never forget.
7 seconds later, the house was devastated.
7 seconds.
Luckily, we survived it and our dogs survived it, but everything else is gone.
James Montevere looks back at the moment that changed everything.
We were just at that house for a garage sale last weekend.
We heard what sounded like a jet engine, like landing in our backyard.
James and his husband Bill in different rooms as their house was obliterated.
I heard him screaming, and it threw me up into the ceiling and dislocated my shoulder.
The landslide ripping the life they had out from under them.
Just suddenly, everything was chaos, and then when it stopped, I couldn't hear Bill, I couldn't hear the dogs.
James saw a path to safety, a place where he could crawl out of what was now debris and no longer a home.
No matter how much I screamed, he still couldn't hear.
Within the couple of minutes, I heard Bill, and then I heard neighbors hollering, just ask if we were okay.
I couldn't move.
First responders took an hour to get Bill to safety.
He was flipped upside down in the kitchen and dropped into the basement and buried.
That was the scariest part, was hearing the chainsaw and glass breaking and that kind of thing.
The couple stayed in the hospital for 3 days. Their 2 dogs still missing.
They found them exactly a week later.
And I was like, there's 2, they're alive. I see them, they're blinking at me. And it was very exciting.
Where a couch makes an L, the ceiling was like this, and they were in between there, just huddled up beside each other and taking care of each other.
The last piece of their family now safe.
They're our kids, so we love them just like we would anything else.
These moments still on their mind a year later.
It was beyond traumatic. Bill still has flashbacks every now and then.
James asking, what if?
Had they bought the house, it could have ended up with loss of life.
What if the family with young kids, days away from closing on the home, would have been there instead?
It's painful to think what would have happened. We're glad it didn't. I'm not glad it happened to us, but I'm glad it didn't happen to them.
James and Bill are now living life in Puerto Rico.
We've landed on our feet. We bought a little house, not smaller than we had intended, but we bought a little house in Puerto Rico, and we're kind of making it day to day.
James says they thought about landslide risk when buying a home in Puerto Rico, and they were limited in funds because they did not get an insurance payout. He says in those 7 seconds, they lost $1.4 million. Michaela Clark, Alaska's news source.